right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Hello and welcome into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm your host tonight, Cassidy Wood. Guys, it's 10:35 right now. We still have a Pirates game going on. Just rain has destroyed this series. It postponed the game yesterday. You forced the doubleheader today. Both games got delayed. And then, of course, in the bottom of the ninth, tied at 4, another rain delay. The tarp came out. Pushed it was like a 45-minute delay. They resumed play at 10:05. It's now the 11th inning, and again, like I said, tied at 4 before that rain delay, and pushed it into extras. And now the Buccos are up 8-4. So scored 4 runs in like those first 3-4 innings, couldn't score, and then now scored 4 runs in the 10th alone. And 'tis Pirates baseball. I'm joined alongside Brian Batko tonight. And, you know, unfortunately, the Pirates did drop those first 2 games, Bri. Here, maybe they can pull out this win, but what a dramatic day it's been.
Yeah, and yet another day where I think even the most optimistic Pirates fans are shaking their fist at no victory for Paul Skeens. The 500 or better watch continues for a guy who is a legitimate leading candidate for the Cy Young, and yet everything seems to go wrong any night or day that he is on the mound. Sometimes it's the offense. Today it was the bullpen. So that's kind of what I look for now every day that he starts. And this was a day that I think a lot of people were hoping and wishing they could have seen him against Tarek Skubal from the Tigers, who's also up there for the AL Cy Young. That was not to be. Skeens still couldn't get a W out of it anyway, but at least it looks like they're going to take this game.
Yeah, well, it just went final, 8-4. So, You know, the Pirates got 1 out of the 3. So that's decent. You know, a huge crowd out there today, though, hoping to see Skeens versus Skubal. I don't know why they didn't do that. They came out and said, I think it was Donnie Kelly who came out and said, look, they wanted to at least split the series, and they thought starting Skeens in the final game would give them the best opportunity to do that. And so it's just interesting. They didn't see that. I mean, it was a 1 o'clock game originally on a Thursday, and it looked like that ballpark was nearly sold out. I think a lot of those fans were hoping for that, but just a blowout game. Detroit winning at 9-2. Just couldn't get runs yet again. But it seems like in this game, a couple hours later, they were able to figure it out. So, you know, we'll see what happens. They come back home for a 3-game series this weekend. Maybe they can turn it around, but I just feel like it's the same song and dance. Skeens did last until the 6th inning today. I thought that was a little odd. Normally he goes a little bit deeper, but he got pulled in the 6th. So, you know, and a lot of calls weren't going their way either. A lot of those borderline calls were just not going their way, so that was frustrating. So at least they were able to pull out the win. But yeah, what a mess it was today out at the ballpark, that's for sure. Guys, This is our Xfinity question of the night. Should the Steelers go after former All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey? Now, I don't know if you guys saw, but apparently Jalen Ramsey has followed a lot of Steelers, a lot of the defensive guys on social media. That's always a huge talk. And so who knows? I mean, Brad, do you think, A, that the Steelers need him here to help out that secondary, and B, do you think it's going to happen?
I don't know that they need him, Cassidy, but I do think it has a little bit more of a potential fit to it than the last cornerback that a lot of Steelers fans wanted them to pursue. That was Jair Alexander, who ended up with the Ravens after he was released by the Packers, another former All-Pro. I think the difference between those two, number one, Jalen Ramsey's been more durable. Number two, Ramsey has played a little bit more versatile game than Jair Alexander. He's played slot corner to some extent, you know, a little bit this past year, even more when he was with the Rams before he went down to Miami to join the Dolphins. And I think with Joey Porter Jr. and Darius Slay in here, you know, obviously getting a player the caliber of Ramsey, even if he's not the All-Pro that he once was, as you mentioned, you know, he's going to be in the plan. Now, how would you alter your plan with those two guys? I don't know. Maybe Darius Slay becomes a sub-package outside corner, and you can move Ramsey into the nickel position in those instances. I mean, he's just somebody who, when he's right, when he's healthy, even at age 30 now or almost 31, you know, he can pretty much help you anywhere around your defense. He's that good. So I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm sure there are other teams that are interested in him, and his salary cap hit is pretty unwieldy. But hey, the more the Dolphins are willing to pay on that, the more maybe they can get back in terms of compensation, because it makes Ramsey more appealing in an acquisition.
Yeah, and they're going to need it because they just paid Deshaun Elliott. There's all this drama still surrounding TJ Watt. I mean, we know so much money goes to the defensive side of the ball, but I think the offense has been really what the problem has been over these recent years. Do you think that they're still pouring too many resources into one side of the ball right now?
Yeah, I mean, they have money to spend right now because of the Aaron Rodgers deal being as affordable as it was. He said he'd play for $10 million when he was on the Pat McAfee show. That's what he ended up getting guaranteed. His salary will be a little bit more than that, like 13. But when you've got a quarterback on that kind of bargain basement price, then yeah, you can have the quote unquote luxuries, even if it seems like right now for the Steelers, it's mostly on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously the DK Metcalf trade and turning around and giving him the biggest deal in team history for a wideout. That shows you they're spending a little bit more on that side of the ball, and I think some people would roll their eyes if they go after another, kind of big name, highly priced player with a lucrative contract on defense. But hey, you're in the AFC and you're in the AFC North. You need to have a lot of, essentially walls that you can throw at the quarterbacks in this division and in this conference.
Yeah, that is true. But you also need an offense that can compete with the other offenses in the AFC North. And, can this offense really compete with the high-powered offense that the Bengals have and the Ravens have right now? I mean, we'll see.
Remains to be seen for sure with the Aaron Rodgers era upon us.
Oh, my gosh. Cross our fingers that hopefully it goes well. All right, guys, we're going to head to our first break, though. Give us a call, 412-575-2600. We want to hear from you guys. Welcome back. This is our Xfinity tweet of the night. Paul Skeens has allowed a total of 21 earned runs in 16 starts this season and has 4 wins. Yet again, just unbelievable. Kind of what you said off the top of the show, Bri. I also want to shout out Nick Gonzalez, too, in this game. He scored a second home run of the season, his first one since battling back from that injury that sat him for over 3 months. I think the final count was like 95-plus days on the injured list. So very nice to see him out there get a solo home run. And then he made a great defensive play as well, an amazing catch. So great on him. Also, Kutch had another solo homer. He has 3 home runs now in just 8 days. So, those are the heavy hitters the Pirates have. So
the Paul Skeens aspect of it, though, it is like if you were in a group project in high school or college, and every single time you are brainstorming the ideas, you're putting together the diorama, you're writing and researching the paper, and yet no one else pitches in to do their part, and you end up with a C time after time. It's got to be frustrating for him and getting worse every time.
Yeah, not to mention you have to answer to reporters after that, asking, why aren't you guys pulling out the win? And he can't be like, well, they're not helping me. They're not pulling their weight.
He can't be like, get me out of here. Yeah. But yeah,
he has to be positive about it. Oh, poor guy. All right, let's hit the phone lines. Dennis and Freedom. Dennis wants to talk Pirates. What's going on?
How you doing? How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Thanks, Dennis.
I'm calling about the interference call.
Yeah.
Where the umpire let the runner go from second to third, and when the infielder is interfered with, the ball is dead. He should not advance to third base. Couldn't the Pirates protested that game at that point? But I know you're saying they already won the game, but couldn't they review that and the Pirate win the protest? Then it goes back to where that the breach of the rule.
Yeah, that was a very, very interesting call. I mean, we saw Skeens walk off. I mean, he thought it was a double play and it was dead, but they did call it interference. I mean, Donnie Kelly, emotions were all over the place in this game for whatever reason. I think the ump and Donnie Kelly were kind of back and forth all game long. He did come out and they did have a conversation, and ultimately the ump ruled it was interference, and that was that. So Donnie Kelly really, I think, in that situation did what he could, and they just, for whatever reason, they couldn't challenge it. The ump, called a spade. He said it is what it is, and they rolled on, and they pulled out the win. So it's not like that interference call really made a huge difference.
Yet another example, though, of Skeens can't catch a break. We mentioned the bats, the bullpen, and I guess I forgot the guys in blue as well. Yeah, and when that happened,
I felt kind of secondhand embarrassment for him because he started walking towards the dugout, and it was like, oh wait, we still have one out. I got to get back out there, and it was kind of like, oh, that's embarrassing. But everybody was so confused by that call for sure. So, at least they got the win.
Little bit of a makeup, I guess, on the Tommy Pham, go ahead run there at the end. It seemed like that was debatable. I was listening to it on the radio on the way in, so I didn't see it, but sounds like that was one where the home crowd didn't like the review, and nor did Tigers manager A.J. Hinch, and he lost it, and then he got run. So I guess it all kind of came out in the wash in the end.
Yeah, I think it definitely balanced out for sure. All right, Jim and Shaler, he wants to talk Pirates. Jim, what's going on?
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Good. How's it going?
Good. Hey, hear me out real quick here. Really tired of this Pirate offense. Even though they put up 8 runs, there's only 3 guys hitting: McCutcheon, the shortstop, and the second baseman. That's all who hits. They don't score runs. They have nobody in this farm system that can hit except for Connor. Mm-hmm. Do you guys trust the general manager? Do you trust the owner to do something next year? Because they're right now they're giving away years of Skeens and his pitching staff, and I just don't have no confidence in them at all. I would like to listen to you guys, and Pham got to go. I think Pham is a big problem on this team. The way he talks to fans, they get back on him. He almost caused a big fight at the end of the game today. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but I'll hear you out. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, look, tensions are high with this ball club. That's no secret. I'm sure you guys saw the video circulating social media right now of Santana getting into it with a couple fans as well. I mean, tensions are very high. It's clear. We've talked about this back and forth, Bri, I feel like all season long. Where do you draw the line? You obviously have such a solid pitching core right now. And where do you draw the line? Do you bring these young guys up and see what they can do, see what they can produce? Because right now this lineup is not doing anything to support this pitching whatsoever. So do you start doing that? Because what they have right now is not great. And we know, like you mentioned, Connor Griffith, I mean, we know there's guys in this farm system who can hit. So do you bring those guys up? Do you take a chance on those guys? Because right now this is just not working out. And hopefully, I mean, maybe in this offseason, this upcoming offseason, maybe, Sherrington and that whole front office kind of learned their lesson after this year. But I mean, it's just happened time and time again. I mean, we're in year 6 of the Ben Sherrington era, and it's still same script, just different year. So, you can hope that they make changes in this upcoming offseason and help out this pitching group with some run support. But I don't know. I'm not super confident about it. And I'm a believer that, hey, let's get these young guys up here and see what they can do, to be honest.
Yeah, Jim, thanks for calling from my beloved Shaler. I was driving in here from Shaler, so I missed the Tommy Pham thing at the end, but I did see on social media that, yes, yet again, he gets into it with a fan, and the second time tonight after the Dennis Santana incident in the bullpen. So I don't know what's going on with all of that. These guys need to keep their cool. Mental toughness is kind of one of the bedrocks of being a professional athlete. As for your question, though, I mean, I certainly don't have any confidence or faith in the owner. I tend to err a little bit on giving some grace to the general manager, because in that job for the Pirates, it's kind of like somebody asking you, hey, I need you to whip up this big 4-course meal because we're having people over tonight, and here's $20, go do it. And still, though, if you're Ben Sherrington, you haven't really, Cassidy, you said learn their lesson. I don't even know if it's about learning a lesson. It's more so you haven't proven through 6 years that you're very good at identifying, evaluating, and trying to win on the margins, which is unfortunately what you have to do when you're in the front office for this organization.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's still such a question mark. I mean, obviously, I think there's nothing that can be done in the immediate to fix this. Obviously, they're going to have to attack it in the offseason. The big question will be if they will. All right, let's go to Ed in Uniontown, who also wants to talk Pirates. Ed, what's going on?
Yes, I was just thinking about the home plate umpire. He was terrible. and O'Neill Cruz, they were talking before about giving him a long-term contract. He struck out 4 times today. Is he leading the league in strikeouts?
So he's not leading the lead in strikeouts, but that was a really, one of those, he went 0 for 4, and one of those he had two guys threatening, and it could have been, honestly, it could have been the go-ahead run that sealed the win, and then we wouldn't, be playing baseball till 10:40. But yeah, look, O'Neal Cruz, is he happy here? I don't know. It's really hard to get a read on the guy, but a long-term contract for him, it's interesting. He's definitely the best hitter. I'll say this. He's the most consistent hitter they have right now, which, isn't a huge statement, but it's true. As for the home plate umpire, though, man, that was so tough. When I said at the top of the show, Bri, they weren't getting these borderline calls. I was talking about Skeen's pitch. There were several balls that were strikes, and I was like, what is going on? And apparently, I think he is a rookie. I think he just came up from the minors, so, it is what it is. But, man, they just can't catch a break.
I had a coach at one point in life who told me, look, just go into any game with the mindset of every umpire, every referee, every official that you're going to have, they're terrible. So just deal with it, all right? And obviously that's not always the case, but that's sort of how you have to go in, because you can moan and complain about that, or you can kind of find other ways to win, or in this case, find other things to talk about. And as far as O'Neal Cruz goes, yeah, when he gets a hold of one, he tends to smash it, but getting a hold of one with regularity and avoiding some of these strikeout issues has been a major problem for him, and continues to kind of hold back a player who's got so much potential oozing out of him. It's frustrating in its own right.
Yeah, I think he's has the second hardest hit ball in the league right now. Yeah, he's awesome. All right, we're going to head to break, guys. Give us a call, 412-575-2600. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Nightly Sports Call. We're going to check in now with the news desk and see what they have coming up at 11. Hey, Ken.
Hey, Cass, tonight days of heavy rain causing big problems for crops across the state. We're talking with farmers. There is some relief on the way. Ray Petland is tracking some actual dry days, and neighbors asking for help with a smelly situation. All coming up right here at 11.
What an interesting tease.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that one.
You're going to want to see the story.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Bri, thank you for joining me tonight. And hey, look, Pirates did end up getting a win in the final game tonight, but lose the series in Detroit. They are back home starting tomorrow for a 3-game series this weekend. So maybe we'll see you guys out at PNC Park. But for now, from Brian and me, hope you have a good night. We'll see you next time, same place, same time.